Okay, hi everybody. So this class or training, we should say, is really to support a lot of the assistants and agents who are basically their own assistants right now, and using our lovely ladies at each of our offices, which is Olivia and Jackie. They've become quite the leaders. So we're going to be using them solely as examples of how they're managing all of their stuff, along with, getting some feedback from all of you to kind of chime in so we can make this a very effective event. So first thing that we are going to go over is the team communication. Now, teams and groups are two or more, and teams are basically two people, or you're a solo agent. So when I say team, it really kind of consists of group or your team. And if you're a solo agent, then it's just solely you. So ladies, how often are you guys on a weekly basis? How often are you guys meeting with us as a team?
I could start, Jackie, if you want.
Go ahead.
So on a weekly basis, the team is at least meeting for 15 minutes a day just to kind of update each other on the day before, and then what we'll be working on that day to keep the projects moving forward. And then we have a monthly team meeting where we kind of set out our projects for the month. And yeah, that's kind of our weekly and monthly meetings that we do.
How important is it to you as one of the administration members? How is it important to you to meet on a daily basis, weekly basis, and a monthly basis?
Really important. Communication is like key. I think everyone would agree on that. Just because, with little things that could either, go wrong during the day, or like, urgent matters that pop up, just to keep everybody informed and up to date on the projects. It's very, very important, I'd say.
Yeah, and I also just want to piggyback off of Olivia.
I couldn't get in. It's trying to make me put in passwords and stuff.
Sorry.
Hi, Rob.
Oops, sorry.
All right. So as I was saying, to piggyback off of what Olivia said, yes, communication is obviously key. We also at Silicon City, we do weekly meetings together, and every day we're constantly, since we're all in the office, we do get a chance to communicate with each other in person. But I did want to make one thing clear, because I know with agents it could be a little different. And this is just something to chime in, give some suggestions. But I do believe that even if your team is only consisted of 2 people, I think it's still very important to meet together, specifically to talk over, let's say, goals, projects, activities, aside of your, day-to-day, everyday, texting and communication, that you have one time and place where you meet with your team to be able to talk over those projects and see the progress of all your tasks as well. I do think that's also important to make sure to reflect and see the progress on the team as a whole. So
that's great. And actually, I love that you said that. And as you're, as we'll call me the MCA, I manage the girls, and I find it to be extremely important to meet 15 minutes in the morning, which we do, and then really technically once a week, and then once a month. And I find it to be important because I'm trying to minimize as many emails as possible. I get flooded with emails, and knowing that we just spend 15 minutes to just go into it with what is the focus for today, what are you guys focused on today, what are projects that we're going to accomplish for the day, and then move on. If there's any hair on fire issues, that's the time to let us know. So to me personally, I think meeting every day, at least 15 minutes, a phone call, something, is extremely important. Mm-hmm. So then how do you guys stay on top of your progress for projects and stuff? Knowing that in our meetings, we discuss projects and managing your time and your time block schedules. How are you guys managing your projects?
Do you want to go first, Jackie, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I can go ahead and go first. For managing projects, we focus a lot on, I'm pretty sure with everyone else is the same. You have many different tasks and different tasks that can maybe pertain monthly, weekly, daily, or even just day-to-day and outstanding tasks that you work on. So I think one thing that I find very useful that we've been using with the team, and this goes beyond Silicon City. We actually have lists that go, that is coordinated and shared with Santa Clara Valley as well. And we use a system, it's a task management system called Asana. And this system is pretty much created so that you can add any task you want on here. It can be shared with many different emails, and you're allowed to see the progress of each step on a project, and also even assign tasks to each other. So I think this is a great outlet for, let's say, agents who have assistants as well. Or if you're an assistant here, you can maybe try to bring this up to your rainmaker to incorporate the system. That way you guys can stay on task, on top of every single task you have. Maybe should I show an example of what it looks like?
Yeah, show them.
Let me go ahead and share.
So just so we're clear, I want to make sure that the people watching are not getting confused. Asana we really utilize for projects, but what we would encourage is people to use smart plans inside of Command for things like when you have a client, so buyer checklist, listing checklist. But the Asana is more of project system to things like just projects, things like building out your what are those things called, like when you go door knock, your Popeyes, like organizing events or Popeyes. Like Asana, it's free, and that's what you should utilize the Asana for, just so everybody knows. Okay, go ahead, show them.
Okay, I'm going to pull it up. All right, so let me share my screen real quick. And this is just what an Asana checklist would look like. And right now, the one that I have up is just my tasks in general. What I do is I actually split it down to monthly, weekly, and daily tasks. And then on top right here, I just have outstanding things like I need to do just to get out of the way, small little things. But I keep this checklist so that pretty much I'm aware of what I'm supposed to be doing at a regular basis. And what I really, really love about this is that you can assign it to yourself, but let's say prepare team meeting notes and just pretend as if this project is not only mine, but it's also maybe someone else's as well. Then you can also just add an email, whoever's connected to this list, and you can pretty much assign that task to that person. So let's say your rainmaker or your team leader has, a lot of tasks for you to do, but or you might have some things that they need to get done. Then you can add, you can just assign that task specifically to them. They will receive an email confirmation or an email notification that you've assigned something to them. And they can also see, if you do set a due date, you can also set a due date for them. What I also like about this is because since these are monthly and weekly, daily activities, I actually set a reoccurring time so that it repeats every single month, that I have to finish these things at a certain time, a certain date every month. Something else that we've also, Stacy has also showed us and kind of incorporate on here too, which I think is a very creative way to utilize this tool, is also creating templates on your own. So pretty much you would create a task list with a bunch of steps that you might need to complete for somebody. And then there you would just make it a template. And let's say you have another event or something coming up that would match that template, you can just duplicate it. And that way you don't have to keep creating these due date, these task lists, or creating or assigning it to someone or adding that due date. You can just automatically do that by duplicating it. So I think that's also a very creative way to just utilize this task management system. And I know Olivia, she also has another suggestion as far as how to manage tasks as well. So Olivia, would you like
to? We in Santa Clara Valley, we started using the Agile system. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of that, but basically an Agile board is like designed.
Olivia, your camera went off, just so you know.
Oops, sorry. Hi. So an Agile board is designed to help teams follow like a wide range of projects at the same simultaneously. And so it's called like the Scrum methodology, which you can like plan and visualize. So it's more of, Asana is great for just like a checklist and keeping things, staying on top of tasks. The Agile board really helps to visualize the entire project. So you're able to break it down into steps and then, do certain sprints, which are like a 2-week interval. So it's called a sprint, and you do certain tasks during that interval for those big projects. So let me bring up a picture of one so that you guys can like get an idea of what I'm talking about. One second. All right, so that can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you, which picture? Yeah, okay. So that is kind of like a animated version of what the Agile board would look like. So usually people use like a whiteboard to put everything on. So a story would be like the big project, and then the story of the project. So the little tasks that all fit into that big project. So you would take a sticky note and then write down the little tasks that you need to do for the bigger projects. And then you keep moving those sticky notes over to either to do, what's up next, in progress, what you're working on during that day. And then once it's completed, you can move it to the finish. So then it's really like forcing you to visualize everything and just focus on those tasks for that period of time. So it doesn't seem as overwhelming, because I know a lot of projects at the same time can be overwhelming. So this just helps to visualize it better.
Awesome, guys. You guys are awesome. So just so everybody is clear, so we use Asana. We use that for the girls is, which you really call them epics when we're talking about Olivia's Scrum board. So they're big, huge projects, and then we utilize the Scrum board to break it all down. So then on our 15 minutes meetings every day, we're literally moving sticky notes every morning. We are keeping the ball constantly moving. That's the accountability part. And any challenges in our way, that's when we discuss them. So that's pretty much how we manage most of our tasks and projects to get things completed. And these would be things like even as events. So Olivia and Jackie are both doing the Halloween trick or trunk event. And that's a prime example. That would be something like you guys are doing with the client appreciation event. You could even put it in Asana, which me and Olivia did. We sat down, we built it all in Asana, all the project, the due dates, when we have to do everything into detail, and then we attach them onto stickies and then move them along in our Scrum board. I mean, it's that simple. So every day we're moving and grooving.
Okay.
So I just wanted to ask everyone who's on the call right now, is anybody having any type of difficulties when it comes to, team communication and managing projects? Are you having, is it maybe something about accountability, staying on top of the deadlines, anything like that? Does anybody have any type of difficulties?
Or systems. If you guys have any systems, we would love for you to share if there's a different way that you manage your projects or due dates other than using a calendar. No? Nobody? What? Okay, well, good. Then hopefully maybe some of our stuff can help. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So now that we know how you guys are tracking all of your projects and your time to do the project, so now let's go into time management. So talk about time blocking. Let's talk about that. Jackie, how do you time block?
So for time blocking, I rely heavily on Google Calendar, but also with my time, I just make sure that I'm, first of all, keeping everyone updated with what I'm doing. And I think at the end of the day, when you do that with your team, you stay accountable and you kind of make sure you get things done on time. Just setting deadlines is honestly so important. I use Google Calendar a lot with those kind of things. If there's any type of deadlines with the team, I make sure to even add that on the calendar. You can add it as a reminder, but for me personally, I feel like adding as an event made it a little bit easier for me, just because the reminder, I think I had an issue with it where it wasn't really reminding me as often. So I actually use it I just create a Google event and I make it, okay, this is due this day or this is due the other day. I think another thing that I wanted to also just mention is that I don't know if everyone is here is aware, but you can, especially with Google Calendar, it's so easy to be able to sync it on your actual calendar on your phone. I know a lot of you are probably on the go all the time using that phone, and so I just wanted to put it out there that there is a way to sync it into your actual calendar on your phone. And if you do have questions or you want to learn how to do that, I can definitely send you some resources and show you how you can do it. But for those who are not as tech savvy, that is an option that you can do so that you're not always needing to be on your computer to look at your Google Calendar and see what is, what you have to do that day. Olivia, did you have anything else you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off, I do the same thing. Google Cal is for time management is, I think, like both of our best friends. So that is definitely utilized the most. But yeah, I think the agile method really helps with defining how much time you're gonna need to block out for each project. So it kind of all ties in together when it comes to project management and time management for the agile board. It just really puts everything visually, into perspective of how much time you're going to need each day for each task. So, and then Google Cal it. Yeah.
Yeah. I also just want to say, I don't think I got to show you guys about Asana, but within Asana, there's one full big task, right? That's your big project. And within those, I mean, you can make the project a due date, and then you can make the subtasks due dates as well. So if you're not a calendar person, or you want something that's more detailed and even subtasks broken down into more due dates, I think Asana is great for that too. Because when you do set that due date, I just also want to say that there's a reminder, email notification that will go to your email, and it will send you a few days before the due date and saying, hey, by the way, you need to, this is going to be due in a few days. So Asana is great for that for those type of people who can't, who don't check their Asana list that often, or check their to-do list often, but need that constant reminder that, hey, this is due soon, or hey, this is due soon. Or hey, you need to finish this project by this date, and it's coming up with these tasks still need to be completed. So I think everyone should definitely check out Asana and see, how you can utilize that, because I do believe that it's super useful, and especially the Agile board. I think that's amazing for teams. I mean, that's the best way you can communicate as well, especially if you see each other in person a lot. I also wanted just to go back real quick and talk to you guys a little bit more about timelines, and a little bit more specific to real estate and agents on the call right now. And this is just a little plug, but Command, I just want to say that Command has an amazing checklist on there that, I mean, if you guys go into the opportunities, which I'm assuming most of you have for your transactions, but on the opportunities, Actually, maybe I can pull it up and show you guys. But on command, there is, on the opportunities, you can add separate checklists that you can pretty much create like a template of checklists that you complete in every stage of the transaction. And why I'm bringing up command is because, I mean, Asana is great. All of these task management systems are amazing. But what I love about command is that it's catered to real estate. It's catered, I mean, they have steps that are built just for real estate. So it saves you that extra step of even creating those steps. And all you need to do is really just put in whatever checklist you need or whatever things you use that you need to complete within that stage. So I'm just going to show you guys real quick what it looks like. Or what I'm talking about, so that you can kind of go back in command and add that and utilize this this feature. My computer is deciding to act out right now. But if you want to add anything while I try to figure this out.
For time management, does anyone need any links to the phone app, by the way, on how to download and sync your calendar? If anybody's needing that, let us know. We have links and resources for you.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, but oh, okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you're saying that you're syncing, are you syncing Asana to your Google Calendar?
Yes, you can.
You can.
Yep, you can sync. So when you're managing, so when I'm managing Olivia and Jackie, and there's a due date that I assign, or lock any of them, and I assign a project to them with a due date, then it could sync to their calendar.
Okay, great. And another question about Asana. I saw that you have your daily, weekly, monthly tasks, and you can put them on repeat. Is there a section for just like the random tasks that pop up during your day that you need to like get written down?
Yeah, I do. So
Okay.
so actually I'll share my screen right now and I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. So for the, so I have my daily right here, my weekly right here, my monthly, and right here, I just call it outstanding tasks. These are things I just need to get out of my way, like just little tasks that I need to finish up. So those are things that I would add on here. Sorry, right here. So this is where I would add it, day-to-day things that I would do. These are more like every day I have to complete these things, or every week I have to complete these things, or every month I have to complete these things. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, that does.
Let me add this too. If you're managing an assistant, if you're an agent on this call and you're managing an assistant, or you're about to, the one thing that really drives agents crazy is when you're telling your assistant about a project or something you need them to do, and then it kind of, you feel that it disappeared somewhere. And maybe your assistant isn't ready to actually take on that project yet, but you don't want it to disappear. Then Asana is the place to do that at, because even the girls know we have a list of projects that we're not even ready for, but we don't want it to disappear. So we have it just sitting there until we're ready, and then we move it into an actual story. So if, like I said, if you're a rainmaker and you have an assistant, get them on Asana, because then you can assign the deadlines, or the due dates, I should say. And then if not, then at least it stays there, doesn't disappear.
Yeah, I completely agree with Stacy on that. I think Asana, the most it's done for me, I mean, it's done so much for me, but Asana specifically, especially that, there's always those things in the back of your head. You're like, oh, well, we kind of need to do that eventually, or we kind of need to do that. But then it's all just in the back of your head. And for you to like kind of put it out and have it on the same exact system in one place and just on a different list, then you can go back to and say, okay, well, now I have some time. Let's look back at the things that we wanted to do. And I mean, that just really saved us. It made us obviously more efficient. It made us be able to just be on top of things, stay proactive. It's really great.
And let me add something real quick. And you can move them in an order. So you can actually move the task around to do it in a flow. So you can use Asana as a workflow. And then it's also an app. So, which I don't know if the girls even know, but that's how I'm checking on the things that they're doing. So I would always make comments to them as like, oh yeah, I saw that you checked that off. It's because it's an app. So it always notifies me when they've done something. So yeah.
This is wonderful. Can you put notes along with specific
Yeah.
tasks? Oh,
So
great.
let me go ahead and just click on it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to click on, actually, I'm going to do one, actually, you know what, I'll click on this one. So my daily task, it says check for any room reservations. Right here, if within that task, which is really cool, you can also add subtasks. So let's say there's a process of doing it and it's like a long process, then you can just put down the steps here. So that every time you pull up this umbrella, then it'll have another, you know, mini task in there. You can also add files, you can add links, you can add a description, and everyone who is on this list will be able to, or on this task will be able to see it.
I love it.
And
awesome.
also right here, let's say Stacy assigned me something and I'm like, I don't really understand what that is. If you really want and you want to keep all communication on one line, or not so that it's confusing and you know you can go back to this project, you can also ask questions on here and you can communicate through there as well, if that's something you choose to do. Okay, and then I also just wanted to, so I got command up. I wanted to show you guys something a little bit more on here. So I created just like a fake transaction here. And I actually decided, I went in earlier to add some lists on here. But what I wanted to show you guys that as an assistant, if your Rainmaker team leader has a lot of transactions, this is a great way for you to organize what step you are on, what stage you are on. And you can also see, I'm going to click on edit stages right here. And in here, I don't know if all of you know this, but you can also just add your own checklist. So here I just kind of added follow up in 6 months. You can add another one, let's say follow up in 12, let's say 1 year. Then you can save it. Well, this is going to be a client update. You can save it. So every time that you have a transaction, it will always pull up the same exact list for you, and you can check it off that way too. And the reason why I was showing you guys this way is because, let's say with a transaction, you have certain things that you already know about, and there's things on here that obviously can help you as well. And since you're already uploading your transactions in here, then that way you can also keep your checklist within the same spot as well, in the same exact opportunity. So that's just also another little quick tip for you agents who, or even assistants who are organizing the transactions for your business.
Yes, and remember, as a Rainmaker, while you're managing your assistant, when you create these checklists, then you know where your assistant has left off in the transaction. And you know what things have gotten done and things that haven't gotten done. So let's say your assistant gets sick and you now have to jump back in. You know exactly where she's left off or he's left off. So that's why checklists and systems are so important, is because then your business there's nobody falling through the cracks. So yeah.
Yes, that's a really good point. Good point, Stacy.
Good job, Olivia. You guys are so great. Anybody have any questions so far on these topics?
Yes, any questions?
Any feedback?
You guys are just awesome.
I'll take that too. My girls are so awesome. I love them. So, okay, so then the next thing we were going to talk about with all of you is mass texting and emails. And this is more of like, when you're a Rainmaker and you have an assistant, not all assistants are I don't want to say the word allowed, but it's just not in their job description to really communicate with clients. So I guess this is more focused on those who are communicating with clients. One of the things that we wanted to talk about is how are you guys doing that? Are you guys, there's always a system when you're talking to your assistants about how to communicate. So for example, you as agents are our clients, just like you guys in real estate, you guys have your clients, and we make it a point to post on Facebook, which you guys know, email, and we text message, and we call. So we have 4 ways of communicating with you guys. So our question to you guys is, what are different ways that you guys are communicating with your clients, and what are the most effective ways that you're doing it? Anybody?
I just this is Pearl. I have my deal. It closes on the 9th, and Roberta's my coach.
Yeah.
Roberta and I think texting was the best, because your phone's right there versus going on, going online. And, well, I guess you can do both, but I get a quicker reaction, I believe, through text.
Yep.
Anyway.
That's us too. We're finding that text messaging is becoming the next level of communication, probably the primary level of communication these days. Anybody else find text messaging to be the best way of communicating with clients, or getting in touch with them, or following up with them? How do you guys follow up? Does anybody follow up with their client on the process of where they are in the transaction? And if so, how are you doing that? No? Well, we overly communicate, and as far as like the onboarding process. So one things that we do is the girls send out an email letting them know where they are in the transaction or process. That's speaking in real estate terms, right, as an agent. But for us, it's just onboarding the agents through the process of getting them on board with the office. So we email, we text, we do videos, we post. I mean, we do all kinds of stuff. So yeah, those have become the really truly the most effective way. What about you girls? What do you find to be the best way to communicate with the agents, or I should say your clients?
I'd agree with Pearl. Texting definitely gets the quickest response.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Facebook also is really, really, because like everyone's on there as well, always on there as well. So like Facebook has been really great for communication, and a little bit more personable too, just because social media, I guess, and like you're, able to make it your own. So yeah, I'd say for efficiency and like highest engagement, definitely texting and social media.
Yeah, I agree with the social media aspect as well. I find that I do a call when it's something that needs a little more finesse and time spent. The text is kind of like, I need a quicker response, a quick response on a quick thing. I don't really want to have a 10-minute conversation over a quick question. And then I found that Facebook, both communicating publicly on their page as well as in Facebook Messenger, seems to be a really great way to stay connected with potential clients for the future without it seeming like, I'm calling and texting them all the time. It's just kind of seems more natural just to be like, hey, I was thinking about you today, and get a great response that way.
I love that. So basically what you're saying is you're utilizing Facebook Messenger as a way to communicate with your clients or your people.
Yes. And it's kind of like a non-invasive kind of way, just, hey, I was thinking about you today. I saw the post about your cat, and, and it just, I don't know, it feels more organic, I guess.
Yeah. Like you're not kind of interrupting them, but at the same time, you're grabbing their attention.
Right.
I love that. That's a good one. So speaking of social media, especially with Command, you guys could do Facebook campaigns. Is any assistants, do you guys have any of your assistants actually utilizing that feature on your Command, or if you don't have an assistant? You telling me nobody on this call, all, 18 people, 17 people don't utilize Facebook ads? Oh my Lanta, we gotta have a class. Gotta have another class. Girls, you writing this down?
Yeah.
Gotta have another class.
I have not used the ads, but I have used design and made posts that
Okay, good.
are going out to, my friends and followers on Instagram.
And how has that helped you? Is it convenient? Is it making it a lot easier for you?
Oh yes, super convenient. I made one about the career night for recruiting.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was command. It was super
Yep.
easy. It took me like 5 minutes. And then I was also able to make it in the different formats. So one for story, one for Facebook post, one for Instagram post. And that way it's tailored to the way it shows up for the people that are looking at it. And I got a lot of reaction from it. Just people kind of being excited, like, wow, you're the face of Keller Williams. I was like, not exactly. I just put my picture on it, but I did find 2 people that had been interested but never thought it was possible, and it just opened the door of communication, and they ended up coming to that career night.
Look at that. I saw that post too. That was a good one. So then, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
So then, girls, how are you? So staying on the same topic of social media and marketing, because we market our clients especially, which is the agents. How are you guys managing all that? Tell me about that.
Jackie, do you want to go or should I?
Yes, I can. Wait, can you repeat that question?
Social media marketing, like how are you guys managing that? Like we see your posts, you guys are doing them consistently. You're shouting out our clients, how are you guys managing all that?
Yeah, so actually, and I believe I'm going to be speaking for me and Olivia because we're both on the same kind of system the procedure that we do. But there's a time and a day that we actually set out where we just pretty much set all of these promotions. And I know you all will be able to do the same thing as well on Facebook. But when you're making a post, you can actually schedule these posts out. So let's say you're seeing a lot of engagement at a certain time in the day, but you might be out during that time. You might not be at your computer to click post. Then these things, you can set all of these posts ahead of time, and you can set it up, like, I believe, months ahead. So if you're really proactive on this and you want something to go out at a consecutive and I'm trying to think of the right word, but pretty much in a way that is organized for your marketing, then you can just set and schedule these posts so that you just set it and then you leave it and it will post on its own. And it will just actually give you a Facebook notification saying that your scheduled post has been posted or published. So I believe a lot of people probably don't know about that feature on Facebook. It's very simple. I mean, you just create a post, and before you click post, there's a little calendar next to it, and that's where you can click to schedule. And I believe I'm speaking for Olivia as well. I don't know if you want to add anything.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what we do too over here. So that's exactly, we try to schedule it out like not too crazy, like how Melissa was saying. We don't want to be like, in everybody's face all the time. So we try to schedule it out, in intervals, and during times, where people we know are more on Facebook or that channel of social media. And we're also like viewing analytics on things like this so that we can continue to better, like when our marketing, when we post. So that really helps as well, to view the analytics of it so that you could actually have the hard data of like, okay, like I'm getting more engagement like during this time, and this post, like, oh, I added certain wording or picture or whatever, and that post did better than this. So it's things like that where you could like analyze your marketing that way, so that you can continue making the best of it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Olivia on that. When it comes to any type of marketing, even campaigns, even emails, it's good to kind of see when you're getting your responses, because that's probably a good time of when you should constantly be sending out those promotions, emails, or campaigns, because you know that's where they're going to be reaching it. So if it helps you have, some notes, write it down that, on Facebook, it seems like people are on at this time. You can also see on the chat, your little chat, see who's active on Facebook. So you see like the higher number, then a lot of people are on Facebook, maybe around like 6 to 8, then that's probably a good time you might want to post something. So those are things that you might want to just keep in consideration when you are doing campaigns. I know we talked a decent amount about social media campaigns. We would be more than happy to show you guys more on social media campaigning, how to really build that out. And if you're really interested in doing Facebook campaigns for your business, I think it's a great thing. I was actually just reading on some testimonials from people from Keller Williams agents, and they've been talking a lot about how they've been putting a lot of focus on the Facebook campaigns, and that they were able to receive like hundreds of leads within a year, and it's insane how many leads they can actually get from it. So as long as you do it right. So that's why if you guys are interested, we can definitely host a class on that, or at least how to build it out for you. And yeah, how's everything? Everybody have any questions about campaigning in general, even emails? If there's any tips that we can give you for emails as well.
So just so all of you guys know, as an agent who's managing assistants or a solo agent, the girls basically focus at the beginning of the month. They already set up all of their campaigns, so meaning all of their emails and all of their posts, and they schedule them out. So it's basically a set it and go. So everything that you guys are receiving from the girls or you see on the post, it's all being scheduled out. It's a set it and leave it. So there's no thinking about it later. If there's hair on fire issues with clients, whatever, they can handle that because all the posts are already automated, set to go. So please make sure if your assistants, if you give them clear direction on exactly what it is that you want to focus on as far as that month on promoting or campaigning, or then do that in advance and then let them create the content. And then at the beginning of the month, set everything to go and you're done. Mm-hmm. Easy peasy.
I wanted to ask one thing. Who here uses emails? I mean, we haven't really discussed that, but I think we have a lot that we can actually give advice and, suggestions to. Does anybody use emails for your business, with your clients or anything? Maybe not, maybe yes. But there's a few things that I think a lot of people know it's there but don't do it. I think it's super helpful to create templates, email templates, for any type of thing that you do for your business. I mean, let's say someone reaches out to you because they're interested in buying or they're interested in selling. You can have a canned email, a template on your Gmail, on your KW email, or whichever Gmail you're using. And this way you can be able to just to send that exact email out, and you won't have to keep repeating and saying the same things over and over. I'm pretty sure all of you can think of certain emails that you've probably written up many, many times because it's the same procedure. So I think it's very important. Try digging into templates, and we can also show you how to do that as well. It's very simple to set it up on Gmail. Making canned messages, canned emails saves you so much time, and it'll save you that extra work for you to write it out every single time.
So to stay on emails, and I saw Virginia's message, the girls use MailChimp. MailChimp is a system that basically they can schedule things out in advance, or they could save their templates or build little mini campaigns within there with the system. Everything's automated within that thing. And I think there's a free version, right, girls?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. So so basically
this area clean. What does he want done?
Oh, so basically they use Facebook and schedule those out, and then they use MailChimp to schedule their emails out. And then what Jackie's talking about is canned emails. So when you log into your email, you can actually set little templates. So some of you guys probably already know I'm a junkie for some canned emails. If you guys see when I send out demands, you'll see it's a template. So I never have to keep writing the same email. Or when you guys' anniversaries are starting over, that's a canned email. That's something, it's a template. I just change the dates and it sends a reminder, and I already schedule them out at the beginning of the month, right after I transmit. And so it's scheduled to go out on certain days. So, you know, the moral of the story is that if you have an assistant or you're doing it yourself, utilize the systems to their full advantage to do a lot of the work for you. A lot of agents have been asking us, how do you guys manage all this? Or you guys are amazing. Or no, it's literally just utilizing the systems that we have in front of us and just abusing them to their fullest potential. I mean, that's really all that we do on a daily basis. So we could focus on the customer service as much as we can. So,
Yeah.
any questions regarding emails or campaigning or social media?
I believe with MailChimp, correct me if I'm wrong, Stacy, but you get your free MailChimp account when you either connect it through command. Is that right?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't remember, but I know you can connect it, but I just don't know what levels of free, like how many contacts you can have where it's no longer free. That's the thing I don't know.
Yeah. But if you're a sucker for emails, MailChimp is the best kind of system you can use, because they will have they also have drip campaigns on there. If you're a type of person that sends things out on a regular basis, maybe you're a property manager, anything like that, this is a great way for you to just incorporate. You don't have to send out those monthly emails, send out those, quarterly emails, whatever that may be. You can build that within MailChimp and have them set. And you just maybe, if anything, you're updating just the contact list you're sending it to. But other than that, you have these emails and set out for you. It will take you some time. I want to just say that, yes, of course, it will take time. It's a little tedious in the beginning because you have to build them all out. But once you do it, remember, it's an investment. You do that and you don't have to really touch it again unless you just have to edit a few things. But this will save you so much time just throughout the future that you're going to be working in your business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you strategize, you can even hire a virtual assistant for really cheap and have the virtual assistant build it out. But remember, all of this ties into command, all of it.
Yeah.
Only thing that doesn't, that we've talked about, is Asana. That's it.
And to piggyback off what you guys are saying and what I was kind of saying earlier on the Facebook analytics, the MailChimp analytics help a lot as well, so that you're able to be sending out these emails at the right time so that you get the most engagement possible, with your clients or whoever you're sending the email to. So that really helps your marketing perform better for you, because you're able to constantly watch, what the response rate is and what the analytics are. You have hard data to help you improve your marketing.
Oh yeah. So, Olivia, so I know you touched on MailChimp more. Maybe you can go into, I don't know what plan it is. Maybe it's a certain plan you need, but maybe talk a little bit more about how you can even see who clicks it and how many clicks you get,
Yeah. So that actually you could get in the free version as well. The analytics is in the free version as well. So you're able, it gets so detailed, guys. You could see how many times a person has opened that email, or if they've clicked on certain links in that email, and it'll tell you exactly what links that they clicked. So if you notice they clicked on your LinkedIn or your website, you could follow up with another email of like, oh, let me help you try to find the information that you're looking for, something, so that you're just able to communicate better with them and figure out what people are most after, for you and your business.
Basically measuring what if your content is good enough, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Which, as you know, someone who's managing the girls, that stuff is important to me, because then when I know that Olivia's gotten, you know, a 30% increase in her click rate, that to me tells me that the content that she's creating is really good, and that's when she deserves like an absolute like high five, and vice versa with Jackie. So it's important that if you guys are holding your assistants accountable to doing things, then you have to inspect what you expect, and you have to inspect everything that they're doing. So you got to measure it to see if that time that they're using is actually worth it. Because if you see that there's only 2% click rate, it's like, no, that's not working. We need to change it.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, great job, guys. Okay, the next thing that we were going to talk about is event planning. Now, event planning, which is very difficult right now in COVID, yes, we know, but we wanted to see what other people were doing. Olivia can share and Jackie can share what they're doing to help you guys with event planning during COVID for your clients. But we also wanted to brainstorm with you guys on some ideas so that all of you guys can get some ideas to do things.
Mhm.
Anybody doing any COVID events? Oh, I wish Yvette was on this call. I know she was doing a couple.
We would love to hear even ideas, like maybe things you've thought about but haven't gotten a chance to do it, anything like that. I mean, this is a great place to share that with everyone.
So girls, tell them a little bit about what the event you guys have coordinated to help the agents during the COVID to market.
Yeah, so as you know, the Trick or Trunk is coming up. We're so excited about it. Definitely more difficult to put on an event, but not impossible. Just have to think outside of the box a little bit. What we're doing, let me get my thoughts in order. What we're doing, we use, actually, it kind of loops back to what we were talking about in the beginning of the meeting of team communication, project management especially. We're using Asana heavily for this event because there's so many steps and little things that we need to have ready for it. So Asana has definitely helped to break the whole thing down so that it doesn't seem as overwhelming, and we're able to just like, do these tasks and, chunk it out. So the Asana has definitely helped with this event for sure and planning it. Can I go into it? Sorry, I'm gonna try to find it. Jackie, do you want to add?
So something that going off of what Olivia was doing, so she created, I mean, we all created, but she is working on the Trick or Trunk event. There's an outline. I mean, it goes into detail to venue, location, time, volunteers, who's volunteering for what other tasks need to be done on the day of, what, decorations, blah, blah, blah. Like everything is on there, and you can assign them as well. She's going to pull it up right here. So yeah, go ahead if you want to go into it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so exactly like what Jackie was saying, like all the details are here so that we
click on location so they can see the subtasks.
So yeah, for sure. So that we can keep on track of all the little tasks. So even you see like this one has 11 tasks in it, or subtasks. The candy one has, another 3 little tasks in it. So it gets very, very detailed. But yeah, it has just helped us to organize how to plan an event like this.
And the point of this event is for us to build relationships with our clients, which is you guys as agents and assistants, but also for you as agents to utilize as your own event. So one of the perks with this is you guys can actually market. Olivia had posted that you guys can actually take the flyer and put your own logos on it and actually market this event as your own. So then you would post that and schedule it out on Facebook so it goes out, or you could do an email drip, or you can basically, this is an excuse to call on your database and come and hang out, you know, see your people. It's COVID friendly because no one gets out of their cars. It's a drive-through trick or trunk. So, you know, this is a great way, like I said, for you guys to, instead of planning your own and spending the money, utilize us, the market center, to basically host your event.
Yeah.
But in order to keep organized for us who are putting the event together, we utilize Asana to its full advantage to manage all of this for us.
And if you guys are interested, we are more than happy to share you our templates to help you have a guide on what you can put in your Asana list as far as templates. We can, whatever would work for you guys. So we have the event, an event timeline or outline, and we can definitely send you maybe a screenshot and show you guys what we have. That way you can kind of follow that or adjust to your needs. If you guys want, I also have my own, because we all, you know, as a market center, we offer a lot of training here. So we want to make sure to stay on top of our marketing. So we actually have a separate, we call it a 30-day promotional plan, and that actually breaks down, okay, when should you be sending an email out as a reminder for the first for the event, maybe a second, you know, reminder to register, and then the day before. I actually have a timeline that was built out for my promotions, but I can definitely, let's say, like tweak it a bit so that it fits maybe any general type of promotion, and I can also provide that for you guys as well. That way, if you do have an event that comes up in the future, anytime in the future, that you have even a social media promotional plan that you can follow, that would most likely give you a very good registration rate or a good attendance in general. So if you guys are interested in that, please just put in the chat, and then I can do that for you guys.
Melissa said
Just let me know.
We'll send that to you, Melissa.
Yes, yes, please. I really was inspired by the buyer's presentation that Mark did, the buyer's workshop, and I would like to try and build my own, but did get a little overwhelmed. I didn't know these tools existed. So yes, please, I would really like that.
Of course.
And remember to download the app, because when you, like the other day I was in Costco and I just randomly thought of a task that I needed to do, and it's like, it's so convenient to have it on your app, because then I just hurried up and put it to my project list. Like, just so you know, app is like, I live off the app.
Absolutely. I've been using notes in my iPhone, and I have a billion notes with a billion sub notes, and then they're all color coded, and it's actually quite overwhelming. So this is perfect.
Perfect. Yay.
I'm glad we could help you.
Yep. That's what this class is for. This training is for. So now I want to open up for anybody who has any, especially the assistants on here. If you have any problems, questions, just wondering what we do for a specific subject, this is your time to ask, because the whole point of this is to help everybody. Everybody's good. This is the first time I've ever had nobody like, usually assistants are like, I don't want to talk. I want to talk. I need this. I need that. So one thing I will add is that there's a list that I had created a while back, because I used to coach a lot of assistants, that I think it's like 20 something systems that you should have in place for your business, and things like communication system, buyer's system, all these systems that should be in place within your business. I'll make sure to post that on our Facebook group page, and upload it to the are both of the Office Connect pages, so you guys can see that list. Because if you have an assistant, then I would say take that list and start prioritizing which one is priority, and then start building out projects on building those things. So your office and your business is more systematic, for sure. Because when someone gets sick, no balls should be dropped. And this is the only way to manage that.
Stacy, I have a question.
Yeah.
Regarding the, you know how you said you have, like, is it constant contact, or you mentioned that command, is it? Whereby, what is it called? Oh,
Are you
Chipmunk, right? Or Chip something.
MailChimp? Yeah.
MailChimp, yes. Okay, MailChimp. We're supposed let's say, do they have a system whereby, let's say you're taking buyers out, looking at homes, okay, and you've done it 4 times in a row, okay, and there's supposed to be something where we can send them for, like, it's time for market analysis, you know, things like that, so that get them in front of the what's going on in the market and price per square foot and things like that. So I was wondering, is there a system like that in is it called
MailChimp? No,
MailChimp?
you would have to build that out. So like the girls were saying, you build out templates. So an example is Olivia built out a template for Wellness Wednesday, and it's kind of like a newsletter. You would have to build out the template just to make it look pretty, right? With the title and the little boxes and all that. And then you would just fill in the information after. But what I would suggest, and if you're going to utilize the MailChimp system, would be create the template. And then, so every time, let's say you want to send this out monthly, every month you're using the same template. You're just adjusting the content. So you've already nailed off like 2 things out of the 3, and then just focus on content. That's it. And then send it out and schedule it out.
Yeah.
But they don't
Where
have.
would I be able to find some of these templates?
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
say that again?
Is there a place where we can go find these templates that's done by other agents?
You know, that's a
The
good
library?
question. I'm sure that there is. Like, I actually strongly believe that there are templates. Like, Olivia's part of a group, this group on Facebook, and they have all kinds of stuff on there that she's able to take. So I know that people have them like on Facebook groups and all that, or if you ask them, they could send it to you, you know. But
Okay.
as far as, or even asking MailChimp, like customer service, do you guys offer any templates? I'm sure they have them.
Yeah, MailChimp has like a bunch of like standard templates for people to use. If you're looking for like a specific one on, you said for like market stats, is that correct?
From market stats, and also, you know, price per square foot, you know, because after a while they say, oh, you know what, since we can't find what we want in the single family, maybe we should look at condos and townhouses. So it's a totally different breed, you know, that you're looking
Yeah.
at. So I was thinking that, you know, let's take a shortcut and just give you the analysis, price per square foot. Is it really worth it to go for the townhouse or condos, or stick with the single family homes?
Gotcha. So for something specific like that, I definitely agree with Stacy, and I would find a few Facebook groups to join to ask other agents like if they have any templates for something specific like that. However, MailChimp does have just standard templates, like newsletter templates, like Stacy was saying, and there's like you know, appointment reminder type of templates. There's a bunch of templates that are pretty standard, but something specific like that, I would reach out to other agents to see if they have a template.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yes.
I have a quick question about that.
Yeah.
Could you build the email templates in Command? And if so, are other agents, I know they told us at Mega Camp that other agents were creating smart plans that we could all use. Can you do that with templates as well? I know there's I haven't played with the email part in InDesign yet, but I'm wondering if we can do it in there.
Based on,
Oh,
no, go ahead, Olivia, go ahead.
For smart plans, yeah, definitely for like automated workflow, like a drip type of email drip thing for sure. Yeah, that's what I've heard too, that people use smart plans for email drips. However, using a MailChimp template in Command, I have not seen that yet. But that could be on me, that maybe I just don't know enough, but I haven't figured out a way to import like the nice pretty template from MailChimp into Command settings. I haven't figured that out yet. Stacey, I cut you off though. Were you gonna?
I was gonna say, I don't think, based on the trainings that I've been taking or aware of, that they have where you can, anything with the email like templates, like you can't share, you know, like they're more focused on the smart plans because those are the checklists of sharing those, but no, I don't know about the email templates.
I'm in Command right now taking a look under designs. You know, you can choose print, you can choose social media. There is an option to choose email. And some of the ones that I'm showing right now are a template for approachable for sale, approachable featured home, just listed.
But do they have, is it the content or like, are we talking about content or imaging?
Oh, I'm talking about imaging, just so that I can go in and fill out my content and just have it already. So I can use the same one for multiple things.
Yeah, that's the part I don't know. So like if you go where you're at right now, I can't tell you confidently that you could create a template design in there and it's like a template that you know, that you could save. I don't know that part.
Okay, no worries. I'm gonna do some research on that.
Yeah, the content I know you can, but not the imaging templates, you know, the design. I don't know that part. And I don't even know how dramatic you could do it. Like, you know, MailChimp, you could create boxes, links, you know, all this crazy stuff to make it look like a real efficient newsletter. I don't know about Command if it could take it to that level.
Yeah, that's what I've found too, is that it's the templates are a little bit more straightforward and basic in Command, and the templates in MailChimp are definitely more like designed and nice. And that's why I don't think, I don't know, I haven't found any way to like connect the templates from MailChimp that I've created to Command. I haven't found that yet.
Okay, no worries.
Anybody else? No, everybody's got systems. Everybody's got.
I had another.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Earlier, I think one of you ladies mentioned using Google Events for, I think you said for deadlines. I don't know if I missed a little bit of that part. I was really focused on the Google Calendar time blocking at that point. So I'm not exactly sure what Google Events is. Is that like when you're setting up an event to invite people, or is it like a event project that's kind of personal and you can connect other people to it?
You can use it in whichever way you want. So it is just an event. I mean, like it's like adding an event on a calendar, but what I do is I create that event into a due date, if that makes sense. So I guess whenever the event starts, then that's when my deadline would be. I do that just because it's connected to my phone, and I think like I set it that, I think it's like, depending on what project it is, if it's a big project, then I'll have a week in advance, a reminder a week in advance, and then another reminder, like maybe if it's really on top of the deadline, then maybe an hour before or just the day of. That way I'm getting 2 reminders or 1, depending on the event. But yeah, it's just a Google event, like if you were to add something on the calendar.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, because I had been doing it through Google Calendar and then setting it up to have these notifications go off at certain points.
Yeah, and that's a perfect way to do it. And then let's say down the road you have an assistant or you have a team eventually or something, then you can also, obviously add their emails in there and they'll get the same notification as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
Anybody else?
The chat is also open if you have any questions. We can read them out.
I have a question about your trunk or treat. I'm a little interested in the logistics of it because I've been, staying in place all this time. So if all the cars are out there and say we're sitting in I have a hatchback. How is everyone going to manage? The cars just drop up and you drive by and you give them the bags of treats? Or how are you doing this?
Yeah, so we're doing all the treats in the plastics, right? And obviously we have to wear the mask and the gloves. And yes, the cars are driving by and we pretty much, but all the trunks are decorated. So it's supposed to be something very festive and it's fun. And, you're all like, for me, I'm having a trunk. It's the movie theater. So I bought a whole costume and you're just greeting people and saying hello. And, we got like 20 cars and we got a few little games, but in a sense of like nobody gets out of the car. I just want to make sure everybody's aware of this. No one's getting out of the car, but you just hand them candy through their window, but we're doing things like if the kids are dressed up, the parents can take pictures of them and tag us on social media for a contest, or these little games that we have. They win, they get a big, huge candy bar, or, it's just fun. It's something so simple. But it's like, what else? The kids can't go trick-or-treating. So,
I know.
Yeah.
I live in a condo complex and I'm trying to figure out if I want to put an invite throughout the complex.
I mean, we haven't even, just so you know, we have not marketed this thing at all. We did Facebook posts to our agents. That's it. And we already have 100 cars. So signed up to come through. So it's like, and we still have to put it in the newspaper and still are going to market it to the public and do the email blast to our huge 5,000 whatever database. And we still haven't done that yet. And we already have 100. So in a week. So it's going to be pretty big. So yeah, I would invite as many people as you want.
So you are opening it up to the public?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's open to the public. Yeah, because there have been some concerns, like I just want to address that there have been some concerns that if everyone's, inviting just their clients, that it would be like weird. But it's not just for clients. We just say that, it's a great way for you to touch your clients and invite them. But it's completely open to the public. And right now, all of the RSVPs to come enjoy the event are just from the public alone. So there's going to be tons of new people and opportunities, for our agents to prospect.
Okay.
Hopefully make
That
some
was the other
money.
thing I didn't know because I was somewhere the other day and I saw this really cute witch. She stood about 4 feet high and I thought, God, that would be cute in the back of my car. So
Yeah.
I didn't know how you were going to advertise it. All right, I'm
Yeah.
still thinking about it though.
Yeah, it's for the kids, they can't go trick-or-treating. So, and my thing is this is, like I said, this is really for the agents to be able to touch their database. This is an excuse to touch your database.
Yeah. No, for years and years, I used to go door knocking on Halloween and drop off, bags of candy and with my business card. I can't say I got any business out of it, but I used to have some of the parents even see me doing this and they'd run out and say, can I have an extra bag?
Yeah,
So, okay, thanks.
you're welcome.
So there's actually one thing I wanted just to mention. I totally forgot. And the thing is, like, we all, as far as staff, we all use this. And I think this is really something maybe everyone could benefit from as well. Going back to the systems real quick. When it comes to files and I know, you know, as agents, we have a lot of files. As staff here and at Santa Clara Valley, we use Google Drive and have everything shared within one. And I think that would be really helpful, let's say with any type of team projects that involves a lot of files and paperwork, or just things you want to keep together in one place. Sharing a Google Drive would also be really helpful for you guys, to just always have it in one spot. If you're never at your computer, it's not on one laptop, but it's on the cloud, and that way anybody can reach it on any kind of system or any type of, you know, phone, laptop, tablet. So I just thought I'd put that suggestion out there, because I totally forgot, and I know that that's something we as staff use often a lot. So yeah. Is there anybody else that has any other questions?
Hey. Well, team, thank you guys and everybody for attending. Like I said, this is obviously to help everybody. We wanted to make sure that we were providing you guys with some good examples that we use to manage our positions. But as you can see, the girls are absolutely amazing, and they're very self-managed, and I know that the systems really help them a lot to give them free time to assist all of you and do these classes. So if you guys don't have anything else, then we will let you go. But if you need anything, please feel free to reach out to us, and we're more than happy to assist you.
Thank you everyone for joining today.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Ladies, you're wonderful.
Thank you guys.
No.
Okay, bye.
Bye.